So today, yoga, yeah. So I was, when I was teaching in my Spanish class, I was telling everybody that we were focusing on the hips. And the thing with the hips, it's a very complex joint. And I've told you in some other lives that the chair is a great invention, but it had done a lot of damage to our body. The lumbar spine, we have lost that curvature. And then also we've lost, like, when you sit down on the floor, you have your legs open and you can bring your knees down. But with the chair, we're just sitting and maybe legs crossed. So we have lost a lot of mobility on that joint. And the thing is that when we try to do some things, like we start practicing yoga, and we don't have that mobility in the hip joint, what we do, and this is unconscious of course, we try to achieve that with the knee, and that's when the knee gets hurt, because we're trying to do something that it's meant to be done by the hip, and we're trying to compensate the lack of mobility and flexibility of that joint with the knee. So a lot of the knee injuries are because we're trying to compensate something we can't do with the hip. So we're going to do a couple of exercises to start moving the hips again, right? And bringing them back, this mobility, this flexibility. Hey, Denise, how are you? I'm glad you're here. So, yeah, I was telling that sometimes we try to, we hurt our knees because we're trying to compensate something we can't do with the hips, because we have been sitting a long time on the chair, and the chairs have prevented us from moving the hips in a natural way. So, for example, when I tell you sit like this, like on the floor, some people they would have their knees like this because they don't have that flexibility, because maybe the chair, you're sitting like this or like this in the chair, and we're not practicing this openness. So some people, like, they try to bring their knees down, so they are forcing with the knees instead of bringing that motion from the hips. That's why if your knees don't touch the ground when you're sitting like this, you should bring your hips up and you will give more space. That's one thing you can do. And maybe just start trying to bring those hips lower and lower. Maybe first sit like this, and then a couple of weeks later unfold the blanket and try to sit like this, and maybe later just use a little layer and try, and then maybe someday you will sit like this and your knees will come all the way to the ground. But the thing is, with the hips, not with the knees, if we try to compensate that lack of mobility that comes from here, we're gonna injure the knees. So just be aware of that. So we're gonna do some movements just to these are some exercises you can practice and start bringing that mobility again to the hip. If you're sitting too long on your chair working with the computer, you can do this. So you can go to your all fours. Be mindful about bringing shoulders just on top of the wrists and hips, on top of the knees. And we can start, this is a great exercise, the cat-cow. So you can start with your cow. Just be mindful about your lower back. So activate your abdomen and you won't injure the lower back. So this is as you inhale, try to look up. You're arching the back. And when you exhale, push with your arms. Your shoulder blades are opening. You have a space between your shoulder blades. You have to bring down the coccyx, and then you're rounding the back. And this is when you exhale. You can look to your belly button, and then again, inhale. You're arching the back. Just be mindful about this. You have to activate this muscle so you won't hurt the lower back. And again, push as you exhale, round the back, coccyx pointing to the floor, maybe crown of the head too. And again, inhale. Protect your lower back. Exhale, round the spine. Then we're going to get a neutral posture. And now we're going to do these exercises for the hips. So again, shoulders on top of wrists, hips on top of knees, and we're going to send back the right leg. I'm going to go a little further. So we're going to send back the right foot, and we're going to bring that right foot all the way to the front. So you're making contact all the time with your big toe, and then we're going to send back that foot. It crosses over the left leg, and we're going to look at it. So we're going to bring it to the front and gaze to that feet, and then we're going to cross it, and we're going to again look at it. So we're going to do these 8 times. So 1, 2, inhale and exhale. Inhale, 3, exhale. Inhale, 4, exhale. Inhale, 5, exhale. Inhale, 6, exhale. Inhale, 7, exhale. Inhale, 8, and all the way back. Okay, look at it. Then we're going to put it again in a neutral position, and we're going to bring that foot up. And we're going to do the same, but with the leg up. So we're going to do 1, exhale. Inhale, 2, exhale. Inhale, 3, exhale. Inhale, 4, exhale. Inhale, 5, exhale. Inhale, 6, exhale. Inhale, 7, exhale. Inhale, 8, and we're going to bring that leg up, and we're going to pulse it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Knee to the floor, open your knees, the big toes touch, and then send that hips back, child's pose. Okay? So you might be feeling all this working on your hips, right? So we're going to walk the hands to the right. Maybe you can place your left hand on top of your right hand and bring the chin or the head to the knee. So we're stretching the left side of the body. And then we can walk the hands again to the center, and then again walk them to the left. We can bring that right hand on top of the left hand, and again you can bring chin or forehead to the left knee. And walk those hands again to center. Child's pose. We're going to do the other side. And for the other side, I'm going to face you. So remember, shoulders over wrists and hips over knees. And we're going to send that left foot back, and we're going to bring it to the front, and we're going to see it, follow it with the gaze, and then we're going to cross it, and we're going to cross it over the right leg, and again we're going to follow it with the gaze. So this is 1. As you inhale, exhale. Inhale, 2, exhale. Inhale, 3, exhale. Inhale, 4, exhale. Inhale, 5, exhale. Inhale, 6, exhale. Inhale, 7, exhale. Inhale, 8. And now we're going to do the same. Bring that leg back again. And we're going to do it, but we're going to bring the leg up. So, 1, inhale, exhale. Inhale, 2, exhale. Inhale, 3, exhale. Inhale, 4, exhale. Inhale, 5, exhale. Inhale, 7, 6, exhale. Inhale, 7, exhale. Inhale, 8, exhale. Stay there. Pulse it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to go back to child's pose. So knees, big toes touching. You can separate your knees and bring your chest down. We can walk again to the right with the hands, chin or forehead to the knee. Again, walk to the center and walk to the left. Right hand over the left hand. And again to the center. Now we're going to do a couple of exercises. So we're gonna send the hips up. We're gonna push so the chest is aiming to the knees. So we're gonna push the chest, and then when we have pushed the chest all the way, we can start straightening the legs. And this is down dog. And from here, you can bring that right leg up, 3-legged dog, and then bring the knee to your chest. But if you see, I'm bringing the shoulders over the wrists again. So again, up, 3-legged dog, and then bring the knee to the chest. One more time, up, and bring the knee to the chest. You can see my shoulders are on top of my wrists, and from here I'm going to place the foot in between my hands. And then I'm going to bring the left knee down, and again, I can push it, I can push my body back, and then I'm going to try to contract all the muscles of the abdominals, so I'm going to be protecting my lower back. So when I do that, I can bring again the hip forward, but you shouldn't be feeling anything on the lower back. So you're pushing forward, and you can stay here for a couple of more breaths, and then we can send the hip back. The toes, you can point them to the ceiling and flex over that right leg. And again, we can go to this one. Just check that you're protecting your lower back. You can bring your hands down and walk that right foot to the right edge of the mat. And from here you can remember, it's not your knees. If your knee is hurting, step back. So the movement has to come from the hip. So you can start opening the hip by moving your leg side to side. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you can bring your elbows down. So you can feel, if you bring your elbows down, you might feel all the muscles in the front part of the hip, of the left hip, working, and also all the muscles around the right hip. Now bring your hands back, and we're going to place the toes of the left foot, and from here we're going to send that leg back and up, the right leg back and up, and we're going to find downward facing dog again. Now we're going to switch legs. Left leg up, three-legged dog, and then bring that knee to the chest, bring shoulders on top of the wrists, and then again, inhale, three-legged dog, exhale, knee to chest, one more time, inhale, three-legged dog, exhale, knee to chest, and you're already in position. So just bring down your foot in between your hands, place your right knee on the mat, and then go back. Just be mindful about everything that's going on here. Contract all the muscles, pubic bone into the ribs, everything, and then you're protecting your lower back, and you can send your hips to the front. You shouldn't be feeling any pinching or anything in the lower back. So there. Yeah, keep sending the hips to the front. We're working the muscles in front of the right hip. Now send the hips back. Point the left toes, and maybe bring your body down if it's possible. Then again, we'll come to the front, bring your hips to the front, protect your lower back, bring your hands and start walking your left foot to the left edge of your mat. And once again, we can bring that leg down, but the movement has to come from the hip. If you feel any pain on your knees, step back. Don't do this, okay? Again, you're moving the leg, but the movement comes from the hip. And if you can bring your elbows to the mat and keep opening that hip. All right. If you want there, you can place your hands, and then again you can put your toes, and we're going to go up to downward facing dog. So send that left leg up and then back with the other one. You can walk your dog, so bend one knee and then the other one. Walk the dog, and then we can place. The intention is to send the heels down. It's just an intention. It doesn't mean that it needs to happen, but it's the intention. And now look to the front and start walking little steps to the front. And we're going to fold forward. From here, we're going to bend the knees, and bring the butt down. And we can do this posture. If your knees don't touch or are very high, you can put something to protect them. If your knees are low, you can start opening your feet, like if it was a book, like if you have a book here. And then we're going to start bending forward, but with with a straight back. So we're going to bend from the hips, not the spine, the hips. And we're going to bend with a straight spine until we can't maintain that straight spine. So we're going to stay here. You're working the hips, remember, not the knees. If your knees are here, you can put something or just bring them up. It doesn't matter. What you are focusing on is on the hips. So focus your work here. And then back again. Bring your feet a little further from you, and you will have this diamond shape. And now we're going to bend again, but we're going to fold from the spine. We're not going to fold from the hips in this one. So here we can round the spine. The intention is to bring the crown of the head to touch the feet. So inhale and exhale, round your back. And if you are like this, it doesn't matter, just round the back. Again, inhale, exhale, and we're going to finish the class with Paschimottanasana. But first we're going to do some twists. So bring both knees to your chest, and you can start like moving them to one side, then the other one. Maybe you can rotate the knees to one side, to the other one, maybe in opposite. Maybe bringing the knees to your chest and then opening them. And again, bringing them, opening. And then you can do the other. You can bring knees to your chest and then push them away from your chest and then open them and bring them back to your chest. So you can do this too. We work a lot with our hips. Okay, now you can keep the right knee here and extend the left leg. And now you have the right knee here. You're gonna pull it with the left hand over your body. Bring the right arm in a T shape. Gaze on your right hand. Just be mindful that your shoulder blades are in contact with your mat, with the floor. We're going to return to neutral. Bring both knees to your chest. Keep the left knee in your chest and extend the right leg. With your right hand, you're going to cross the right leg over your body. Extend in a T shape your left arm, gaze over the left fingers. These twists are great for a lot of things, including digestion. So these are just great. And when we work with the hips, they're amazing. And again, we can come to neutral. And from here, we're going to send the forehead to the knees. It's just a cannonball, a little ball. And from here, we can go to the resting pose, Shavasana. And I'm going to stop here, but you can stay here all the time you want. When you are ready, you can start moving your fingers and your toes, maybe wrists and ankles. Bring your knees to your chest and maybe both arms up, or just the right arm, and then turn to your right side. You can use the right arm as a pillow, and with the left hand, which is in front of your chest, you push yourself away from the floor. That's to protect your neck. And then come back to a sitting position. So thank you so much for being here. Namaste. I'm going to see, because I have... Oh, thank you, Denise. Yeah, you sit for a long time, I know. And the hips are suffering. The chair is not the greatest of inventions for the hips or the human body. Yeah, these are basic movements for beginners. Do whatever you can do. If you can't bring your leg all the way to the front, do whatever you can do without hurting yourself. So if you need to do this one, maybe with you don't need to bring all the leg to the front. Maybe you can bend your knee and maybe just do it like little circles for beginners with your knee bent. You can start with that. You just need the thing is that you need to feel that on your hip, not on your knee. So maybe it's just like this, and maybe to start, just maybe not the foot, just the knee. Like bring the knee to the front and to the back, to the front and to the back, because this is a harder movement, and yeah, you need strength for this. But maybe like this, it's good, and maybe just like this with a bent knee, this is enough. You don't need to do the whole movement. Okay, so they're basic movements. You can adjust, so don't hurt yourself. Okay. And you should be feeling this on your hips, just your hips, not your knees. If your knee start feeling like something is not right, something is not right. Just trust yourself. You're your best teacher. Your best teacher ever is yourself. Okay? So thank you so much, Denise, and thank you for all the people that will watch this video later. I love you.